Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I want to talk to you guys about how to develop a no excuses mentality. So in order to develop a no excuses mentality, we first have to know our priorities in our life, right? What are our values? What are our goals? Where are we going? What are we doing, right? We have to know these things in order to develop a no excuses mentality, because if we don't understand or have a knowing of where we're going, then whatever comes up in our day-to-day life, or whatever we see around us, whatever people are doing, then we're naturally going to follow them because we don't know who we are. We don't have any individuation as an individual, right? As humans, right? So you have to know who you are, what you stand for. Do you stand for health? Do you stand for truth? Do you stand for hard work? Do you stand for discipline? Or do you stand for fun, for pleasure, right? Like I just talked about in the last video, right? You have to know your values, right? That's very foundational, right? And so a lot of times people will make multiple excuses as to why they can't do certain things, why they can't stop smoking, why they can't give up pornography, why they can't get in the gym, why they can't work more hours, why they can't get A's in their class, right? So many excuses, right? Some of which are, I'm tired, or my friends asked me to hang out, or there's a basketball game on, or whatever else, right? I want to go play video games. My boys are asking me to play Fortnite or play Call of Duty, right? So many things that could interrupt what we want to do. And our mind, right? Human beings are naturally lazy, right? There's a book called Civilized to Death by Christopher Ryan. And he cites that our foragers would only work 4 hours a day, right? So we have a predisposition to be lazy, right? But again, we have to fight that laziness in order to get great results in life, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger says you can have excuses or results, but not both, right? So we can either do it or not. You can either go to the gym or not, or have an excuse, right? Because your conscious mind always has thoughts popping up, right? So there's always gonna be a reason for you to go, or there's always gonna be, your mind's gonna generate a reason not to go. So you wanna train your mind to have a reason to do what you need to do every single time. You have to remember why you're doing what you're doing, right? So that's very important. That is very, very important, right? And you also have to have a vision for where you're going, where you see yourself in the future, right? You have to have a long-term game plan, right? 5, 10, 15, 20 years, right? In the Bible, it says, when there is no vision, the people perish. So if you don't have a vision, if you don't have a sight for where you are in 5 years, where you're eating, who you're around, what your financial situation is, just who you are, how your business is, right? If you don't have that vision, if you don't have that ideal that you're constantly playing back in your mind, then your body and your mind are gonna succumb to the instant gratification of the everyday indulgences and temptations that we deal with, right? So it's very important to know what your goals are, your priorities, and your vision, what your vision is, right? And guys, listen, I'm gonna wrap this up with the fact that life is just not supposed to be easy, right? There's a reason that there's only 20% of US earners make over $100,000 a year. There's a reason why only 30% of people are not in the class of overweight or obese, right? Life is just not supposed to be easy. We're not supposed to, we have to deny ourselves. Even Jesus says, if any man follows me, he must deny himself, right? So we always are gonna be forced to deny our lower nature, to be lazy, to be indulgent, to be greedy, to be a glutton, right? We're gonna always have to deny ourselves, right? And again, this is part of developing that no excuses mentality. Guys, even when I struggled for 4 years, with pornography. It was 3 times a day, 4 times a day sometimes. Even in the pits of hell, even in the darkest of the gloomiest of days, right? I still was like, all right, start again tomorrow. Start again tomorrow. Start again tomorrow. Start again tomorrow, right? And I had that over time. And that mentality, eventually it was like, okay, it's almost like the devil finally was like, all right, man, you pursued so much. It's like, here, just, I can't win over you, right? I can't win over you. And outwitting the devil, right? Kind of going on a rant here, but the devil says to Napoleon Hill, I cannot win against someone who has a definiteness of purpose, right? So again, that's part of our life, guys, right? Even Thomas Edison, right? The guy who invented the light bulb, right? He said, I didn't fail, I just found 10,000 ways that didn't work, right? So the whole time he was failing, he was trying things, he still persisted. He still had no excuses. He was like, okay, this didn't try, all right, next time. Next, how do we figure out how this electron works? How do we figure out how this proton works, right? There was no excuses the whole time. So you keep trying, you keep trying, you keep trying. So no excuses, persistence, and perseverance all tie in together, right? So it's very important, guys, that we develop this. We develop this. Whatever you're dealing with, right? It doesn't matter what it is. No successful artist had excuses. Picasso didn't have excuses, right? Movie developers don't have excuses. They find ways to be creative. They find ways to stand out, right? So that's kind of the message here, guys. That's kind of the message. If you're struggling with something, it doesn't matter. You will find a way. That's the mindset I want you guys to have. I will find a way. I will find a way, right? So yeah, guys, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down below. And as always, I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.